If she didn't have plot armor and none of the characters that the author didn't want to get hurt would get hurt, everyone would be screwed. Welcome back once again to another book review. Now, the book we are going to be talking about today is actually the book that I got through a blind date with a book, Kingdom of the Wicked. This review will contain spoilers for this book because I cannot talk about my feelings about this book without spoiling major plot points. So if you seem interested in this book, I would recommend reading it before you watch this review. Unless you're someone that doesn't care about major spoilers, then go ahead, but I recommend reading the book first. This is a dark fantasy murder mystery romantasy. I got this because I wanted to try a blind date with a book one time to kind of shake up my reading. I accidentally stuck in my category that I read the most, which is fantasy romance. Although I don't intentionally seek out the romantasy, just it seems like fantasy is starting to be taken over by romance. But with that being said, and the spoiler warnings already given, let's get into the characters of this book. Now, the characters of this book are Amelia, her twin sister Vittoria, and they are Italian, so if I do mispronounce the names, I apologize. I'm trying my best. It's not like I looked at pronunciations, I'm just going off what I saw on the page and how my brain thought things would be pronounced. The Prince of Hell, Wrath, their friend Antonio, and the twins' grandmother. Let me just say, Amelia is an idiot, but I'll get to that in my thoughts on this book. Amelia finds her sister murdered with her heart removed, and she confronts who she thinks is the killer without a plan or a weapon. If he was the killer, she would have died right there. Also, sorry, I got distracted on a tangent. So, in order to find out who killed her sister, Amelia then goes home, taking the killer's dagger with her in order to perform a summoning charm on the dagger to bring the who she assumes to be her sister's killer to her so she can exact revenge and not only figure out why she was killed, but kill them. When she performs this summoning charm, she gets none other than one of the 7 princes of hell themselves, Wrath. And she unknowingly, trying to form like a thing of protection or a charm of protection so he couldn't kill her, ends up like putting them in a foreverly bonded marriage contract, which understandably Wrath is none too thrilled about. So together with Wrath, they start kind of trying to figure out who actually killed her sister because it wasn't actually Wrath that did it. He was just investigating the killings like she was. He kind of becomes her like right-hand man in trying to figure out who the killer is. And I'm going to be completely honest here. I think I read and watch too many murder mysteries because I picked up on who the killer was not even 50 pages into the book. And that's not me trying to be like, I'm so smart, I can figure it out. I just think I genuinely watch too many murder mysteries and read too many murder mystery books, but I'm not gonna dock the book because I figured out who the killer was. But there were other mysteries that I'm like, what is really going on? Because her sister and Amelia have these necklaces. Like, imagine this is their necklace. They have this necklace that they wear all the time and that their grandma had warned them never to bring together. And she told them it was like a protection charm, but later in the book she finds out it's actually both of the devil's horns, and that's why they should never be brought together. This leads into why I think Amelia is an idiot, because at the end of the book, when the killer is finally revealed, she decides, I'm gonna summon Satan. I'm gonna summon Pride and have him send me to hell and then burn hell to the ground within it. And I'm like, you are a dumbass. You're so dumb. Because if you never would have summoned Satan yourself to the mortal world, he would still be stuck in hell. But you literally gave him an in because you are so blinded by your need for revenge that you didn't think that through. And you're sitting there acting like summoning Satan and giving him exactly what he wanted was a big checkmate moment. I'm just sitting here like, you literally gave him an out, using the person that killed your sister to do it. Like, it's a book series. It's probably gonna work out one way or another. But if she didn't have plot armor and none of the characters that the author didn't want to get hurt would get hurt, everyone would be screwed, all because she wanted to find her sister's killer. What good is finding her sister's killer if she ends up hurting who knows how many people down the line? But then, on top of me thinking the main character is an idiot for that, there's also this weird tonal shift in the book that throws you out of the story consistently throughout. And that's the romance part of it. Like, this is primarily a dark fantasy murder mystery. And it delves very heavily into the gore of things. So I should have warned you at the beginning of the video, if gore is not your thing, there are people being gutted, there are people having their hearts ripped out, there are people having lungs punctured. It's all bad. If that's not your vibe, then don't read this, because it gets gory. But in those moments, 1 second we could be talking about and investigating another girl having their heart ripped out and being found murdered, and then jumping 1 page later to them having, like, basically a Sunday brunch date, acting all cute. And I'm like, whoa, talk about throwing you out of the story real quick. It's like I got whiplash from how quickly that went from dark to wholesome. Like, what? And I'm not saying a dark fantasy can't have romance in it, but it just felt like you slammed the brakes hard on the murder mystery just to whip a right turn into romance. Amelia being an idiot and being stuck in her grief and her want for revenge doesn't hurt the story. The main character being easy, or the killer being easy to figure out, doesn't hurt the story, because that's probably me mainly. But the jarringness of going from, we're investigating this other murder with another girl had her heart ripped out like your sister, and it turns out she's also a witch, to, oh, Sunday date night, and we're acting all cute. It was jarring. But I liked the writing style of it. I don't know if it's like this in this one. Yeah, it's like this in this one. But the chapter breaks have very beautiful detailing on the side. The books are pretty in general. I like how the author writes. She's very easy to read, even in some of the darker moments. It's just the tonality of the dark fantasy and then the sudden romance that was like da 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 da. And in the end, the romance didn't even matter anyway. I don't know if it's an act or if it was a gotcha moment from the King of Hell himself. Unless the romance comes back again, the jarringness of the romance didn't even need to happen. But overall, I liked this book. I just wish the main character was a little smarter in the moves that she made. And I wish that the romance was not as jarring as it was. But that's my thoughts on Kingdom of the Wicked. It was much better than I was expecting from a blind date with a book. Before I forget, this was a point that I wanted to mention. All the guys, I don't know what it is, but all the guys in fantasy romance, all the love interests are starting to look the same. I've been a romantasy reader for a long time, I guess. I'm finding out. But I'm noticing all the guys are nicely built, always wear black with dark eyes and golden flakes, and I'm like, Why do all the guys in fantasy look the same? Can we switch up the palette a little bit? Not every dude has to be a 6-foot bodybuilding biker dude wearing black all the time. Like literally every single guy in fantasy is starting to look the same. Wrath reminded me of Xaden from Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, because he's even got the golden flakes in his eyes like Xaden does. Like I said, overall, I enjoyed this book. I did finish it, although it took me a couple of weeks because life's been busy. And I already got the second book because I discovered I had money left on my Amazon account after not purchasing anything since May. So I just went ahead and bought this. And then I ended up buying the third one too, because I'm like, I already have the first two, might as well buy the last one. So good thing I ended up liking this one.